According to AARP, 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day, and this is expected to continue until 2030. And at the same time, health insurance companies are looking for ways to prevent and reduce hospitalizations. This incredible demand is a huge opportunity for business owners in the home health hospice industry that want to increase their census and revenue. Enter two powerhouses from the pre- and post-acute care industry, #1 best-selling authors, international speakers and co-owners of Home Care Sales, Melanie Stover and Cheryl Peltekis. They've trained over 7,000 sales professionals in home health hospice and private duty, which has resulted in over $84 million in revenue. They are the only consultants in the industry that have an extensive clinical and sales background with 50 years in the business combined. Next up, welcome Melanie Stover and Cheryl Peltekis. All right, thank you so much for being here, both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much, Mike, for having us.
All right, so you two are experts in the senior care world in the industry. You've been in it for decades each, so together you probably have more experience with sales and operations and culture than probably anyone. So the industry right now is changing dramatically. How do you help owners of these organizations?
Thanks for asking. So we have created a space. We're calling it the Millionaire's Mastermind. And it is the only space in the private duty, home health, and hospice industry for owners. And we are creating this space so that they can get together, share ideas, have our Rolodex of experts, and take their business to the next level.
Very, very nice. Do you have anything to add to that?
You know, I think it's one of the best things that we ever came up with. As an owner myself, I felt like there was always a lot of different things that, looking back, I wish that I would have known that there were resources available. Mm-hmm. And if these owners would join our mastermind, we're going to really release the Rolodex of resources. We're going to be able to show them what we have been able to prove works over the last 25 years in this industry.
It's unbelievable. So you walk in, I mean, it's almost impossible to make mistakes when you two are working with someone.
That's very kind of you to say.
Yeah.
Well, we have the clients to prove it.
Yeah, for sure. So talk a little bit about the 5 pillars, because that's something that you teach in the mastermind. And for those, maybe before we even do that, for people who aren't even familiar with what a mastermind is, why don't you describe that within the context of what the two of you are doing?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we came together. We used to put on just shows that were called Growth Summits. And at the Growth Summits, we really, one night, we went back to our room and we said, wow, Mel, there is something magical that happens when you bring a group of entrepreneurs who are all dealing with the same types of growing pains, but they're spread out throughout the United States. And to copy something that I actually heard you say, Mike, you said, when you're sitting sometimes in a presentation and you are surrounded by like-minded individuals.
Yeah, like-minded, abundance-minded people, right?
Yeah, and then the speaker saying something, and then somebody in the audience raises their hands and asks that question. And I had found one of my $1 million ideas that way.
Yeah.
And I've heard you say that as well.
So true.
And that night when we came back, I said to Mel, I honestly believe that when we bring these group of brilliant people, I mean, they've worked so hard in their businesses. When we bring them together, something magical happens. My husband is running my company, and even when he's there, he loves to have the opportunity to talk to other business owners and ask them about, how are you handling this problem? What are you guys doing about this? What about this regulation coming up? And there's nothing more valuable than learning what has worked already for another company, and especially when they're not your competition. So that's really what made us earn to have this Millionaire Mastermind. We really feel that the value that the owners can get in just the 2 days that we meet, like typically we're going to probably meet 2 to 3 times a year. During those 2 days, we honestly feel that the value that they can get can probably be equivalent to 5 years of consulting.
There's no question about that. And it's not just the benefits from a strategic point of view, but it's also the mistakes that you prevent from happening. You can save someone a $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 mistake, or 6 months or years of wasted time and effort.
Yeah, and there's nothing, I can't stand to see an owner wasting money.
It's horrible. Yep. Yeah. Or making a mistake that someone else has already made, right? So let's talk a little bit back to the 5 pillars that you learn about in the mastermind. Who wants to take that one?
So we believe that the 5 pillars are foundational. You know, how to have a great agency, you're going to need sales performance, which obviously Cheryl and I excel in. And then we have clinical and operations. Both of us are clinicians and have an operational background. Cheryl has a beautiful background in operations. Recruiting and retention. Here's one of the challenges that we all face because there's just a shortage of nurses and caregivers. And we've got to figure out not only how to get the good ones, but how to keep them.
Right.
And often that revolves around culture, which leads into leadership. And finally, revenue. We all want to grow revenue so that we can support our families and our communities and do really good things in the world.
Very good, very good. So as an added benefit now, when people join the mastermind, not only do they get access to you, they get access to all these strategies, the community itself. You've also put together a special online product suite too, so they can do training on an ongoing basis between meetings and also make it available to staff. So talk a little bit about that.
So besides supporting the owners themselves and their spouses if they'd like to participate, we also want to make sure that we're providing them with all of the tools that they would need for their sales reps to actually bring in a lot of the additional revenue. So we give them access to our online high performance sales academy. That involves that they could also then get 1 time a month coaching with me and Mel in a group format. So we believe that it's not just enough to necessarily work with the owner, right? You've got to kind of also support the organization's all of the 5 pillars.
That's how the implementation gets done, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't do that just from the top down. It's got to come from the bottom up.
Yeah, and we've got to get everybody involved. We've got to offer the support throughout the organization so that we can get those goals accomplished, because ultimately our mission is to get 1 million patients identified for services and taken care of. And we can't do that alone. We need these owners to have a great organization, and we know how to help them become a great organization. And that's our mission, is we want you to join so that you can walk away from walking with us knowing that you saved yourself money, you got there faster, and that you can go ahead and make a difference in the life of not just all the employees that you employ, but all the patients that you can also serve.
It's very good. So when people join your mastermind, they get multiple meetings per year, an opportunity to get together for a couple days at a time, which is plenty of time to share best practices and strategies and be able to learn from you. And then you've got your online product suite for reinforcing. You've got group coaching. What are some of the benefits and some of the other add-ons and experiences that someone can expect when they jump in?
Yeah, that's a great question. What we know is that the retreats, the 2-day retreats, we are getting them away from their office, nowhere near their office, right? In these beautiful locations, because who doesn't want a 2-day vacation that they can also learn something that's going to benefit their business?
And where are some of those places that you have planned?
Well, right now we're thinking Caribbean and, of course, Napa, West Coast in California.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do something maybe in Europe too.
Yeah, that's a great idea. All right, so what are some of those benefits that they can expect when they're working with you?
Yeah, so what we see is that they increase their revenue, right? And what we really want to do is obviously make their nurses happy, keep their nurses. You know, our goal, Cheryl has lots of experience in retaining some of her nurses at her agency are 20 years.
I've been really, really lucky, Mike. One of the first things that I did...
None of that's luck. And keep going.
When I was 26, one of the first things that I did, because I was so nervous about being so young and opening my first company, is I really threw myself into reading as much as I could about leadership and really took a lot of the advice out of working on culture. And I think that really has helped me be able to keep employees for 15, 20 years. So it's, when you have staff that stay with you that long, you can build magic. And I really feel that if we could help teach how I did it with my culture, and we have another organization.
We have replicated that a number of times. We have agencies who have 96% retention rate of their nurses and caregivers, which is amazing, right?
Incredible.
And we know that retention is the key to growth. If we can retain our nurses, we can grow. The second piece is the sales performance, which is really where we have excelled for the last 20 years, is building a sales team that's going to get you results. The ROI on your sales team is amazing. So recognizing that we can help build the sales team of your dreams, really, to get you the revenue that you want so that you can get the income that you desire and ultimately live the lifestyle. I mean, as owners, all of us, we know what toll it takes on our families.
That's right.
And so if we can give that back to them, that's amazing.
That's right. Well, entrepreneurship can be a very lonely place. We all know that. And being around a bunch of other entrepreneurs who are absolutely committed and dedicated to success, they're invested in themselves. And I know one of the things that you are very, very good at is you select and filter right fit people.
Yeah.
So you don't have wrong people in the room.
You just hit the nail on the head when you said about entrepreneurs can be very lonely.
Yep.
On top of it, our business is so intricate. There's so many laws and regulations that when we speak to even our closest best friends, they don't even understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
So there's something about the camaraderie of having another owner that's experiencing the same regulations, the same day-to-day challenges, that when I communicate with them, they understand exactly what I'm saying.
We speak the same language, right?
Yeah, it's like we have our own code.
Yeah. It's very, very important. I agree with that completely. So where can someone learn more about your mastermind, get copies of your best-selling books, have a conversation with you, and make sure that they're a right fit and actually can be accepted into this group? Because it's very exclusive, it's very limited.
Absolutely. So they can start the process at homecaresalesmastermind.com. And there you'll find more information about how to become a mastermind member.
Fantastic. Anything else you'd like to add?
I'd just like to say thank you, Mike, so much. Just having the opportunity to speak today on your show is going to give us a chance to spread our message out in the community.
It's beautiful. All right. So what I want to share with you is right now you've met these two incredible women who are absolutely committed to helping you build and grow your organization, put you together with like-minded, abundance-minded entrepreneurs in this industry. Just one of their ideas will more than pay for the investment in this program, plus the access you get through their Rolodex, their incredible experience to help boost your profits, increase your retention, find and retain right fit people, and ultimately, as they said, help you impact more people, treat more people, increase your income, and more importantly, be able to increase the quality of your life for you and your family. Visit right now, homecaresalesmastermind.com. Check out, make sure you're a right fit for this, apply for the mastermind, and you'll have an opportunity to grow your practice significantly. Thank you so much for watching.